This episode is brought to you by the Women's Foundation. Join the largest fundraiser in the state to protect women's progress and create economic opportunity. The Women's Foundation of Colorado's annual luncheon is on Thursday, September 10th at the Colorado Convention Center. This year will feature special guest comedians Cristela Alonzo and Margaret Cho. To purchase tickets and learn more about the Women's Foundation of Colorado's annual luncheon, visit WFCO.org. That's WFCO.org. Welcome to CityCast Denver. I'm Bree Davies, and here's what Denver's talking about. So today we are opening up the listener mailbag and hearing from you, our dear listeners. Joining me today is producer Olivia Jewel Love. Hi.
Hello. Welcome back, Bree. We missed you.
Thank you so much. I missed you guys too. I guess that's where we should kind of start is we know we've heard you all. There's some grumblings. We know we've been having to do reruns and things have been a little different. But as Olivia and I think Paul have shared before in the past, I was on vacation for literally almost 3 weeks. Right before I left,
holding it down over here, folks.
And also right before I left, I thought I had that lettuce parasite. Remember?
Oh,
so I was out.
We had a little moment.
So I was out, and we're also just short-staffed. Everyone, we've been without a couple of people, and behind the scenes, this is a really small team, and so that impacts how much we can do every day to the best of our ability. So we just kind of wanted to talk about it really quick.
Yeah.
Just so people know. We're not giving up or nothing's happening. We just haven't had the people.
No, and we haven't had enough people. The rerun you heard yesterday, literally only Bree and I were working.
We made that.
So, it's very hard when you're on a small team like that. That's one of the things that makes it cool is we're so small, we can get to know you guys, but also transparently when somebody's sick or somebody's on vacation, it's really hard because it's a small operation.
So we had someone sick, someone on vacation, and an open position. And shout out to Adrian Gonzalez, our post-production gentleman who does so many things behind the scenes. He was also here helping us. But just so you know, yes, this is what's going on. So we don't care any less. We actually care tremendously, and we're working.
And also, I've
seen
your notes, on the subreddit and stuff about asking for us to title them as reruns. We hear you. I wish we could.
Not up to us.
It's unfortunately not our call. We work for a bigger organization. They're calling the shots
There's
here.
Rules.
It's that's not our call here. So, but thank you for sticking with us. Thank you so much for still engaging, writing in all the stuff. We're doing our best here. If you have any ideas or any stuff you'd like to see, feel free to call in, write in, leave us some ideas. We're still working in the background to get stuff up and running and hopefully more soon.
Because, we know there's an election coming up in November, and I know that is something that we love to cover, and we know that you all really care about as well. So we're gearing up for that as well. So just we promise we will be hopefully full force by that point. Let's get into the mailbag. Before we do that, though, I actually had a question for you, Olivia, that I wanted to ask. So pretend this is the mailbag from me. The ARC, I'm sorry, I'm a million years old. The ARC by my house is closed for remodel. And it says, and I was like, oh God, I just noticed the sign was taken down. But then I looked and it said, we're closing for remodel. They're reopening as an ARC outlet.
Wait, that one right by your house?
Yes, which seems weird because it's kind of small.
That's the one that's going to be the outlet?
Yes. I don't need to tell exactly where it is, but people who know and live in my neighborhood know in Burnham.
Yeah. Okay.
But what does that mean?
So from what I understand is it's going to be ARC's rendition of the Goodwill bins. So bulk pricing, by the pound. I'm not sure exactly what it'll look like for the ARC, but I've seen some grumblings. And now I have to agree, now that I've put a name to the location, is that this is such a good ARC. It's such a bummer that this one is turning into, I'm excited, I think, for a bins store for the ARC. I'm not usually a bulk shopper because I don't resell or anything, but this is such a good ARC. It's kind of a bummer that this is the one we're losing to it because at this Arc, I always find so much good like colored glass and like, I don't know.
Really? Interesting.
Yes, the Arc by your house is so good. Like this is
it's Arc on Alameda. I should just say it's like the Arc on West Alameda. And it's funny you say that because like my friend Kyle is also, he's a thriftinista like you. And when he comes up from Trinidad, he goes to that Arc every time he comes to visit us. And I mean, I think I take it for granted because we wander over there every once in a while and it's fine. But I'm also not like a super shopper of thrift stores lately.
When I go to your house, I go to that Arc and I always find something. Like I found like uranium glass there. I found a lot of really cool stuff there. So this is slightly devastating.
I'm sorry. I just was looking for your expertise, but now
it's
I'm
okay.
bummed.
I'm excited. I'm excited for Arc to get into the bins game because there is so much like secondhand clothing and stuff that isn't even touched. There's so much crap that we're like saving from the landfill by donating, which is awesome. But like we can't possibly put it all out on the floor. So it's really cool that they're going to be doing this bulk thing. So like more of it can get into the hands of people. Be that like resellers or people who are buying it for themselves, whatever. So this is ultimately a good thing, but it
just changes the way you
selfishly, I'm like, damn, this was kind of the hookup for me. That sucks. But I think it's cool.
Well, I'm glad I broke that news. I just was at the bank next door.
And I didn't realize that was the one. But okay.
That's the one.
I didn't know I was going to be directly impacted by this news.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. The 5 stages, however many stages of grief there are. I'm having
12
all of them right now.
Okay, let's move on. We have a text. I'm actually going to read it because it's for you. It's to you. The text says, "Hello. This is for Olivia specifically, but she has her intel about grapefruit/Prozac wrong. Grapefruit doesn't lessen the effects of Prozac. It keeps it from breaking down, so there's too much of it in your system. It's actually in parentheses, slim overdose risk, not a crying risk." Sad crying emoji.
So Josh and I were, Joshua Emerson was on the show with me last week while Brie was out. And we were talking about bears and drinks and all sorts of weird stuff. You guys know, I was holding it down. We got
a lot of responses. So I think people
were really doing all sorts of stuff.
You were talking about stuff people cared about.
We were doing all sorts of stuff, but Josh was talking about how much he likes Palomas. And I was like, I can't have grapefruit because I take Prozac and also I take a statin. And I'm like, there's so many, meds I take that interact with Prozac or that interact with grapefruit. And Josh was like, so if you drink grapefruit juice, are you going to just start crying because your Prozac stops working? And I was like, I guess. But I'm so glad that this listener called in to give me the real skinny on it. Apparently it's not going to make, crazy. I'm not going to start crying. It's not going to like reverse the effects of my Prozac. It just might cause me to get an excess of it in my system. So you should check your drug like contraindications. A lot of them do interact with grapefruit. So
I had no idea. I mean, I take a lot of medications and I only think about medications interacting with other medications. I didn't think about grapefruit.
No, grapefruit for some reason. A lot of mine do. But thanks to this scientist in our comments for letting me know. But I'm still going to avoid grapefruit. I don't want too much Prozac, just the right amount. But
I mean, they said there's actually a slim overdose risk, and I don't want that for anyone.
So
it's kind of scary.
Be safe out there. Get your different juice instead.
We have another text from a listener for you. If Olivia wants a fun drink and a fun cup, she should go to Balmer Peak Distillery, very close to Denver at the corner of Sheridan and Alameda. I think you have spoken about this place before.
Yes. So I've been here. This is kind of between me and you, Brie, Balmer Peak.
Totally. On Alameda.
Very cute. They do have good like tiki drinks in cute cups. I really like this place. I responded to this listener and was like, hell yeah, tasty drinks, really cute cups. I saw another.
They know you. They already know you.
I mean, it's mostly about the like aesthetic for me. I'm still in the like age of my 20s where I'm gonna drink it, like whatever it is. But like another person on the subreddit I saw, which I need to address now, they said, Olivia said MacFam has drinks in like the cutest cups, and they said something to the effect of, last time I was there, I thought this was such a good drink, but it was the most basic looking drink ever. and no garnishes or anything. And I just gotta say, I am so surprised. All the times I've gone to MacFam, they have been the most beautiful cocktails in super cool, like, ceramic mugs. Like, I get the little tiger drink that's literally in a tiger, and it has like sprigs of mint and a dried orange. And sometimes they light it on fire, and it's like an entire affair. Or sometimes you get like the drink in the little pink bunny cup. Every time I've gone there, I've gotten a drink in an insane cup that is like, I've taken 400 photos of it and filled up my iCloud storage. So to see this comment, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? So I need to go back there and like get the intel, but I just wanted to respond to that person and be like, I see this comment and I'm shocked. I'm scared. I'm worried.
That reminds me, and I'm going to butcher the name of this place, and I'm so sorry. There's a newish place in the old Rosemary Cafe that was briefly Harvey Park Grill. It is now Kamna, I believe. It's a wonderful Vietnamese restaurant, but I ordered a Thai iced tea there recently, and it I don't remember the cup, but it came with an ice cube shaped like a dragon that was made out of Thai iced tea. So as it melted, it just melted into your drink, the same drink. So it didn't water it down. And it was amazing. You would love that place. It's very photogenic, Olivia.
I love that. See, the ice cubes, there was a coffee shop in my college town that I could walk to that offered coffee ice cubes for your iced coffee, no extra charge. And I was like, this is just classy. This is just smart. This is just genius. Love it. And always got it.
It's so thoughtful. It's just like, and it's a quality control thing that like makes things consistently better.
I'm going to be honest. I would pay for it. I would.
Same.
I would.
Totally.
And, I'm going to give you a bigger tip for it, but that's the ice cube discourse, I guess. I don't know. I'm here to have it every day. Call in. Tell me your favorite shape of ice. Why is it the pebble ice? Why is the pebble ice way better than any other kind of ice?
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think Sonic used to call it rabbit ice. I don't know if they still do. And I don't know if you can still do this, but you used to be able to buy it by the bag. And I love that.
When I was really iron deficient and had pica, I was eating that ice. I was eating that ice.
That is my favorite ice.
I was eating that ice, and I was also eating the Panera ice. Those two ices, those were my top ices. And then once I started taking iron supplements, I didn't want to eat ice anymore. So if you're craving ice, maybe get your iron levels checked. This is a medical show now, by the way. Just,
I'm gonna go Old Denver really hard before we move on. You mentioned Panera, and I was Google mapping a Panera on 38th the other day because I was trying to find the location for Northside Jeans and Gold, which was a store here that sold Levi's and jeans, or sold Levi's and gold. It was a very of the era time when Levi's were high quality, so they were high value. And the Northside Jeans and Gold building, I believe, has since been, this was like 2013, I think, when it closed. It has since been turned into a Panera Bread. So if you're ever at the Panera Bread on 38th, just know that it used to be this really weird and cool store that had giant hand-painted signs called Northside Jeans and Gold.
A big beef.
You would have loved that store, actually, Olivia. Jeans were, whew.
I'm sure I would. A big beef in the Midwest is that some Missouri people call it St. Louis Bread Co. instead of Panera. Yes,
because that's the original name, right?
And I hate it, and it's wrong. So, anyway, if you call it that, block me. Just kidding.
We'll have a whole show on that later.
Yeah, we'll do a deep dive into why that's wrong.
Well, I kind of want to know, but we're not going to talk about it. We'll talk about that off
That's just a really strong feeling I have, actually.
This episode is brought to you by Shalott, Hatton, and Banker. In Denver, looking out for your neighbors is being part of the community. At Shalott, Hatton, and Banker, a Denver-based personal injury law firm, they bring that same mindset to every client they represent. A serious injury can turn your life upside down. Suddenly, you're dealing with doctors, insurance companies, missed work, and uncertainty about what's next. During times like these, having the right legal team can make all the difference. For more than 40 years, Shalott, Hatton, and Banker has represented injured Coloradans with experience, compassion, and personal attention. They prepare every case carefully, taking the time to understand each client's story and remain focused on helping clients recover physically, financially, and emotionally. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured, visit shalatlaw.com. That's CHALAT law.com. Or call 720-792-7322 for a free consultation. This episode is brought to you by Colorado Chinese Medicine University. Check out the second Colorado Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine Expo, free and open to the public, happening Saturday and Sunday, August 29th and 30th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Sturm Hall on the University of Denver campus. Put on by Colorado Chinese Medicine University and DU's Noble Institute for Healthy Aging. Colorado's 60 and over population is projected to hit 1.5 million by 2030, outnumbering kids in the state for the first time, which is part of why events like this exist. Speakers will cover topics like Parkinson's, diabetes, and cancer, as well as mental health, exercise, movement, lifestyle, and more. Stop by the free acupuncture clinic on site or try community Tai Chi and Qigong in the park before and after the event. There will also be traditional dragon dancing performances on both days and herbal medicine and meditation sessions. The second Colorado Acupuncture and Herbal Medicine Expo is free, but RSVP is highly encouraged. Please visit the link in the show notes for more information.
Moving on to more relevant things in Denver. That's just me, Midwest gripings. Okay, I'm going to read this note.
We're shifting gears.
So Adrian Felix, guest host, and we were chatting about some of his interview on CPR about like his first post-freeing Tina Peters interview and just some of his musings lately. And Adrian and I kind of gave our takes. I broke down the weird outfit he wore for the state's anniversary. We're kind of the Polis watch, if you will. So I'll read this note that Jared in FOCO left for us.
Not Jared Polis. This is Jared on Jared.
Jared on Jared crime. And so we'll
Jared on Jared commentary.
Jared on Jared commentary. All right.
Jared in FOCO.
So from Jared in FOCO. Polis thinks that he is very special and unique, and he likes having standout opinions. He doesn't seem to follow moral or ideological frameworks. A lot of people say that he's libertarian, but I don't think that's correct. His stance on gun control, housing regulation, and funding for things like trains do not align with libertarian philosophy. I think a lot of his positions can simply be explained by him wanting to appear nuanced. Unique, in parentheses, so unique, and smarter than everyone else. As stoked as I am with his housing and transportation efforts, I cannot wait to be done with the Polis era of politics in Colorado.
This comment made me think about what we will think in 10 years of Polis. Like, it's more of I think what Jared is saying is we probably will have a much different view of this person, or a more nuanced take for sure, when we can step away from it and see it in the context. Because I agree, he is confounding, but I like that Jared is like, is he that unique? Is he interesting? Is he confounding? Or is he just being...
Is he a pick-me?
Opposite day about everything?
Yeah, sometimes it's like he's just trying to be that like Manic Pixie dream girl. It's like, no, I'm like so different. And it's like, okay, like, are you? Or are you just like actually endangering the lives of people? It's not to
oversimplify issues like gun control and housing regulation and things like that. But I do like Jared's point, like, is it a libertarian streak? Because that tends to be how he's framed. Or is it just someone who wants to be different and just decided to do that in a realm of politics where he has control and impact over people's everyday lives?
Maybe it's a midlife crisis. Who knows?
Yeah, I think he's kind of past that age.
Wow. How old is he?
I mean, he's older than me. I'm 45, and I think I'm...
Well, how long do you think he's going to live? You saying he's over the hump?
But usually midlife, at least like midlife was like between 40 and 50, I think.
Yeah, he's
40-ish.
Well, maybe he's a late bloomer.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by that. That's kind of his late bloomer's kind of his vibe.
Hey, perfect. So maybe that's what he's doing right now. Well, I'm welcoming any theories though. Feel free to call in on the Jared Polis Conspiracy Theory Hotline, 720-500-5418. Any theory welcome.
All right. Should we do a voicemail?
Let's hear a voicemail.
Okay.
This one is about...
I have a hot take on this. Ooh. No, actually, I don't. I have a hot take. I have an admission. This is wrong. Okay. I have an admission about this take.
This one is about one of the reruns we ran shows. About the most influential Denverites. Producer Paul kind of gave a list of some of his picks, and Patty and Bree reacted. So here's this.
This most influential Denverite episode is really kind of hard to listen to. It just reflects how pro-development Denver is across the board. It's all developers and politicians. I get it, but kudos to Patty for calling out Tracy Weil and Jill Hadley Hooper at the end of the episode about how influential they were for the art scene in shaping Rhino. And I would just like to shout out Laura Mirage, the founder of Redline Contemporary Art Center. She created Redline and Black Cube Nomadic Art Museum. She comes from Hot Pocket money, and she basically single-handedly created 2 major hubs for contemporary art in Denver. I really think she should be on there. And I guess that would be the one that I would put on there. Thanks. This is Jeff in Park Hill. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Hot Pocket money.
You didn't know that? Okay.
It's giving Gretchen Wieners. Gretchen Wieners from Mean Girls. Her dad invented toaster strudel.
Yes, hot pocket money is something that you can see kind of all over the city. But as Jeff astutely pointed out, very much in the art world. And I do agree with Jeff here in that Redline is such a crucial space, especially when it opened, gosh, I don't know, 13 or 15 years ago. And Luis Martirano, who's run it for the majority of that time, is extremely tapped into the local arts community as well as the neighborhood around it. So that's what Redline is sort of named after, is the redlining situation in Denver. And they've done really incredible work to incorporate the community within the art space and make it more accessible for sure. And also, Courtney Lane Stell at Black Cube Nomadic has done incredible work too. You can see Black Cube's work all over the city too. They do installations and things all over the city, and I think all over the country. And they've also been super supportive and crucial in the DIY art scene. But I do want to make a small admission to you, Jeff. This is a little pullback behind the curtain. I was supposed to also be on this show with a list of my people, which is maybe why it felt a little heavy.
You were on the show. You just didn't bring a list.
I didn't bring a list because I wrote a whole list. I spent 2 days writing a list for the wrong time frame. So I had people of the last 100 years before 2000. And it was actually people 2000 and forward.
You had the unsinkable.
I did. I had the Barney Fords and the Unsinkables and the Emmanuel, Martinez and all of these people. Hey. And we actually got started recording the show. And about a minute into it, I was like, hey, Patty and Paul, I did not, I totally misunderstood this assignment.
Hey, you know what? And she admitted it, folks. So
here it is. You heard it first. But I do hope that we could do it again, because we had regardless of being able to participate in it with my own ideas, I had a great time discussing it with Patty and Paul. I thought it was really fun. So
yeah, this was kind of a Bree and Patty react to Paul's list.
Yes. And maybe we'll do one where Patty and Paul react to my list or something. But but I love this comment, Jeff. Thank you. It was really fun to think about.
Yeah, this was a great one.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Sky Plumbing. It's back to school season, Denver, and that means your home has a whole new routine to keep up with, too. Blue Sky Plumbing's back to school savings are here to help. Save $500 on a tankless water heater for hot water that keeps up with busier mornings. Save $100 on a home surge protector to handle all those extra devices and chargers. And get 10% off water quality product installs to help make sure what's coming out of your tap is one thing less to worry about. Real savings on the upgrades your home actually needs. Head to blueskyplumbing.com. Blue Sky's got your home covered, Denver. This episode is brought to you by Cozy Earth. It's back to school time, kind of a mini reset, if you know what I mean. My kiddo is starting kindergarten at a new school, and I'm sleepless over the fact that he's growing up so fast. Nobody tells you graduating from preschool to kindergarten is like a huge deal for us parents. But Cozy Earth sheets are helping make this transition a little easier for me. I have their bamboo sheet set, their bamboo comforter, and bamboo duvet cover, and they all keep me cool. They can't help me from staying up all night worrying about how my 5-year-old will feel about his new teachers, his new classroom, and his new friends, but at least we can snuggle and read books before bed while staying cool thanks to Cozy Earth. Everything else is getting back on track. Your sleep should too. Head to CozyEarth.com and use the code CozyDenver for an exclusive 20% off. That's code CozyDenver for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on CityCast Denver.
Okay, we got another voicemail.
All right.
And I think this is from my friend Gabby. It sounds like
cute.
Let's see.
Hi, CityCast. It's Gabby. I live in the Congress Park on the verge of Cherry Creek area. And this is in response to Olivia's water narc hotline. And I gotta say, I'm a huge water narc. I live near the 7th Avenue area, and all of these McMansions are using their sprinklers like crazy. So anytime that the sidewalk is wet or there's water puddling on the road or they're just not watering at the right time of day, trust that I am filling out that form, because why does your grass have to be green? Like, literally, who cares? I don't. Have a pollinator prairie, like, let's go. Save the bees and save the water. All right, thanks. Love what you guys are doing. Bye.
Oh my God.
Hey. So Adrian and we were talking about the amount of responses to what I've been calling the water narc. I had my own water narc hotline here, so you could call in. Thank you, Gabby, for doing it. And then, of course, the city's water narc hotline, so you can narc on your neighbors about who's using too much water, talking about the people who have, and then how we haven't reached our water conservation goals by a long shot. Thank you for calling in and telling me. I wanted to know who's doing this. So I love this image.
And also, Gabby, I know this, I can picture, right? First of all, when you said where you lived, I was like, I can see exactly where this person lives.
Bree's sniping your house right now. She's like binoculars.
No, my mental map of Denver
looking at you in your living room
is deep and wild and weird. But I was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what Gabby's talking about. And I'm with you both here. And I'm like, if your lawn doesn't look like the Dust Bowl, like you're kind of being a bad person right now. We also have a pollinator garden. It's another shout out to Garden in a Box. If you have never signed up for Garden in a Box, they do it twice a year. You can buy curated boxes by horticulturists who design low water, no water plantings for you of native plants that you can put into your garden. And of course, at first you have to water them so that they can get rooted. But then after that, after a year or two, I think they're it's whatever happens. And that's half of our lawn at this point. We've been doing that for 5 years, planting a new one every season.
It also looks really cool.
Thank you.
Cooler than grass.
Yeah, it's definitely like, of course, I have those fond memories of grass too. I grew up in a suburb, I grew up in Virginia Village, which is giant suburban yards. And I do miss that, but also it's just not reality anymore. It probably kind of has never been reality. And I'm proud of people for saying like, hey, why are you guys doing this? This is kind of nuts.
Yeah. I think I'm doing my part for the sheer amount of sprinklers I've backed over in my lifetime. I'm
like, as long as you don't break them and then they just shoot gallons of water out.
I've just like backed over them and they've gone completely like underground so much that I don't think they're coming back up. And I'm like, hey, I'm doing my part, guys. That's not going to work anymore. You're welcome. No. Like, but on a serious note, my apartment just like fixed the sprinklers. So now they're sprinkling at night again, which is interesting because they weren't sprinkling and it was just like brown. And now they're like, guess we're going to sprinkle again. So not sure what's going on there. They seem to be following the guidelines. And I don't know. We're in Lakewood, so things are a little different, but I don't know.
And didn't we just have a headline today that they're talking about outright banning sprinkler use for yards if people don't shape it up here?
Okay. Which, for spooky season, I think a dead yard actually makes a lot more sense. It's really going to be part of the fall decor. And if you have a green yard, that's not really part of the color palette for spooky season. Brown really does embody it better. So if you want to be on theme, you should stop watering now, is what I'm saying.
If you want to try to save what little water we have, also, please.
If you've ever wanted to drink water in your life.
If you love drinking water, if you don't want to take a shower in sand like they do
if you own a big reusable water bottle, just a dust bath like a chinchilla.
Oh my God. Seriously, I was recently on vacation in a place that has not good drinking water, and it made me value so much the fact that I have drank water out of my tap pretty much my whole life here in Colorado.
I'm a big tap girl. I'm a big drink out of the hose girl. So
hose water
is
nothing
fine.
Like it. It's colder. Isn't it colder too?
Oh yeah. It hits different. That hose water.
So good.
But hey,
we're not doing that.
Don't do that unless you can not let a single drop fall out. You put the hose in your mouth and form a seal and drink all of it. You are not wasting a single drop, people. Or you're using it to water your pollinator garden if you spill a drop. I don't know. Those are my water conservation tips. But
Thank you.
I love the Water Narc hotline. I love people calling in on my Water Narc hotline.
Keep calling us at the Water Narc hotline.
Also, send me pictures if you see people doing weird water stuff. I mean, also send it to the real Water Narc hotline, but I want to see too. I just also want to see. I'm just nosy. So 720-500-5418. We can receive picture messages. Do that.
Or Denver at citycast.fm.
Yeah.
If you'd like.
Send wisely. But
yeah.
Well,
this has been really fun, Olivia. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to our listeners for hanging in there with us while we're in a funky time, but we're coming out of it, and we really appreciate you all who have stuck around while we work through some stuff. But I promise you, we're still here. We still love you. We love doing this so much, and we can't wait. We just got it. Have we talked about Grace on the show at all? Our new ADM?
Not yet. We got a new audience development manager about to.
So our social media is going to be popping off. Grace is behind the scenes too, helping us make our future events even more awesome. Homegirl is a spreadsheet queen. I cannot wait. We're already, guys, I'm just going to say it right here. We're already working on the Denver Awards for December, and Grace is on it. So if you had fun last year, it's going to be even crazier this year. So stick around. But we are always taking your questions, comments, thoughts on any previous episodes or any ideas you have for the future. 720-500-5418. Again, leave us a voicemail. We love those. But if you're shy, text us. You can also shoot us an email, denver@citycast.fm. And we just appreciate you so much. Olivia, thank you. This was great.
Thanks. Welcome back.
Thank you. And now, please enjoy Olivia's sponsored interview with Max Schulman, Artistic Director of TheaterWorks, where they talk about the latest production of Sweeney Todd coming to the Ent Center this fall.
Hey, creative producer Olivia here with Max Schulman, the Artistic Director of TheaterWorks at the Ent Center for the Arts in Colorado Springs. Max and his company are opening their new season with a reimagined production of Sweeney Todd, running September 10th through October 4th at the Ent Center. And by the sound of it, this is not your typical night at the theater. Max, welcome to CityCast Denver.
It is great to be here. Thanks, Olivia.
So when people hear Sweeney Todd, they kind of picture the Broadway glitz or the Johnny Depp movie. You and your creative team have been describing something completely different. What are audiences actually walking into with this production?
Sweeney Todd is famous for its massive score and for its absolutely wild story. And all of that is going to be there, but it's in what we like to think of as a very TheaterWorks way. So we're going to do it with a darker edge. We're going to do it way more intimate. And that's something we really believe in here at TheaterWorks is we put you right in the action. Underneath the absurdity of meat pies, it's actually this incredibly complex emotional story about these people, about vengeance, about pursuing a good idea so far that it becomes a bad idea. Just really salivating over the kind of grime of an industrial 19th century London, the dirt and the stink and the ugliness of it, and putting people right alongside that.
That sounds super intense. I'm not going to get any closer if I see a straight razor, though. I got to say, I'm gonna keep my distance there.
There's no splash zone. Okay. You don't need to wear a poncho, none of that. But, that's sort of what we like to do at TheaterWorks. We get really tremendous performers and we get you close to that action.
That's really cool. So you're a professor and you've actually spent your career studying the canon. Why does Sondheim still matter to like me, a 20-something who's worried about rent and climate change, stuff like that?
Sondheim, of course, he's the master. And Sweeney Todd is arguably his masterpiece. The reason to go is in part to get away from rent and climate change and to go on that miraculous journey that he takes us on into this bizarre world that he's created. And to be present for those things that I think can only happen live in the theater. I always think of Sondheim as someone who, kind of like Shakespeare, he asks questions, but he doesn't give us answers. And that's why we do the plays over and over again, because there's no simple way out of these social, entrenched, desirous situations that we find ourselves in.
Definitely. So looking at the rest of the season, some of the other productions, Sweat, What the Constitution Means to Me, Dear Elizabeth, what's like the thread that kind of ties these productions together?
I mean, in some ways, across the whole season, it's kind of about people carving out a place for themselves in their lives and being able to live morally and feel stable, like they have a foundation, which I think all of us need in the world. Sweat is big, hard-hitting American drama. It is about a working class community in Reading, Pennsylvania. It's set in a bar. It is about the day-to-day grind of what it means to be a working class person. What the Constitution Means to Me, again, about kind of carving out and making sure you have a place in the world. I mean, that play, it's a love letter to the Constitution that also asks, very simply, I think, does the Constitution protect women? And then the final piece is, if after all of that, you need something whimsical and beautiful and heartfelt, it's a play where you get to spend time with two of America's greatest poets, Elizabeth Bishop and Robert Lowell, both Pulitzer Prize winners. Elizabeth Bishop was the poet laureate, and they had this incredible friendship. And you get to experience their life and their love for each other through their stunning words, and imagine how to live in a sea of words and a sea of images.
Sounds like this lineup is going to make me feel every emotion, and I'm ready for it.
I hope so.
I am ready for it. If that didn't convince you, make the case for someone else sitting in Denver right now. Why make the drive to Colorado Springs for these productions?
It's only 45 minutes, down 25, easy as can be. We've got endless places to eat right across the street. The Ent Center is a stunning, brand new performance center and is modern and gorgeous. I think the other reason is Colorado Springs, we're still the frontier, man. Like, we're growing nonstop. We're changing every day. And we're creating art, I think, at TheaterWorks and really across our city. We're creating art. We're not paying attention to what you think it's going to sound like or what it needs to be or your expectations. We're focused on innovating and talking about the moment we live in. And TheaterWorks, we're in our 51st year. And for 50 years, this theater has been doing innovative, challenging art and kind of saying, you think you know this piece? Well, come in here and see it all anew. We want to be big and theatrical and wild. Come down to us because I think we're at the frontier of those ideas.
Sweeney Todd runs September 10th through October 4th at the Ent Center for the Arts at UCCS in Colorado Springs. Head to entcenterforthearts.org for tickets and to see the full TheaterWorks season. Well, Max, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Olivia. This was awesome.
That's all for today here on CityCast Denver. If you enjoyed this show, why not take a minute to tell your favorite thrifter about us? Rate the show wherever you get your podcasts, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and subscribe to our morning newsletter at denver.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. See you later.